Hi, I'm Mike from Vestax. We're here at Dex in London today. So I'm just going to show you the VCI-380. It's the newest hitch controller on the market. As you can see, it's a slightly different setup in the software. We have 4 sets of effects. This is a specific version of hitch for the 380, and I'll go through the functions now. Your normal mixer features, so you've got gain, your 3 EQs, faders, crossfaders. You have on the front here the ability to change the curve of the crossfader and the curve of the input faders if you want to do any scratching or mad techniques. This fader is also upgradable to our CFX2, which is the crossfader in our 05 scratch mixer. So if you wanted to do some like crazy scratch techniques, you can have the specific crossfader for it. Your monitoring section, you have 2 headphone sockets, so you can put both sizes in. We're finding a lot more people are using earbuds, or sod's law, they turn up and they've lost the extender on the headphones. Your level control, and obviously the blend between Q and master there. This is where the unit gets pretty trick. So in hitch, you've got hot cues, and this unit allows you to have 8 hot cues, and they can be added as quick as that, and with the shift, deleted just as quick. So the cues are there. You have, I'll slip past slicer because we'll explain that in a second. Then you have auto loop. So if I get the track playing, you hit an auto loop, and as you can see, it's looping there. You can change the size of that, and you can also save those loops. If you're happy with a loop, press auto loop again, give it a designated slot, and come back out, and then you can go back in later and go back to that loop. And again, you can delete those just as easy as the cue points. Loop roll, which is the intermittent, so the track keeps playing and it'll just hold on that section. So, and the track keeps playing, and you can change the size of that as well. But then the slicer mode, which is really cool, as you can see, it's slicing up the track. It's kind of recycling the track. Now it's going on the fly now, so I can actually pick and play each individual slice, so as you can see. And I can change the size of those slices by. So if you're happy with a loop, so now it'll just loop those slices. Slicer, and you can also take a slice from any auto loop. So if you, yeah, we'll do a slightly bigger loop. You bung that straight into slicer, and it slices that loop up for you. But one of the other cool features now that we've got is this outside effects section, not on at the moment, and plug that on now, and this is called pad effects. So now basically anything on these pads that I do, the more pressure I push on the pads, the more effects will happen. So if we stick a roll on, and you'll see I'll put a phaser on it, the more I push, the more phaser. And again, it will work with any of the so we change the size of these slices. And I can do the same. And even with the cues. And again, if I push hard. Okay, so that's become a very creative part of this unit, is having the effects on the pads. As you can obviously see in this unit, you've got the cue wheel. Now this is actually a carbon copy of the virtual deck that's in Serato Hitch, and is there for the scratch guys. So you have let's stick on vinyl mode. You have the cue points, so you'll know where, if you're using deck to deck, you don't have to look at the screen at all anymore. There's no visual need. You've got it there. can use that as your visual cue now. Instead of looking at the computer. What we're trying to do is get the laptop DJ away from staring at his laptop, which tends to be rather boring, and are they checking their emails or surfing the net or DJing, so they can just concentrate on using the unit and use that as their library. One other feature of this unit is the fact that it also works as a standalone mixer. So you can see the file now is all lit up there. As soon as I stick it into standalone mixer mode, the file grays out. It's still there, you can flick between it, but now this is a standalone mixer, and you have inputs on the back. I don't know, can you see them? There's two inputs. They both have another trim, but also they're switchable between phono and line, so you can plug a turntable directly in. It has preamps, or you can plug a CD player in, or what's really cool is if you're using a DVS system, Serato Scratch Live, and for example you have your decks either side, use this as a mixer for your Scratch Live. Very soon on the Serato website will be a mapping for Scratch Live, and that means that all of these functions, the MIDI control functions, will control your Scratch Live. So if you want to browse a file in Scratch Live, load the track, hit your cue points, drop a loop, you can do that all from this as a mixer, controlling Scratch Live with your turntables. Also on the back, the output from the sound card. As you can see, the master output uses balanced XLRs. Next to that, it's two phonos, and this is a booth output, an individual output with its own control. So you have a monitor section there as well. It's built with aluminium legs and a metal top, thin metal top. It's a very, very sturdy unit. Will fit in a laptop bag, no problem at all. It's not bus powered, but you need power obviously as a standalone mixer, and the amount of lights that are in this unit. One other cool feature is you can see these platters now are spinning very freely. You can see whizzing round, but we get a lot of guys that maybe don't want the platter to spin. So it's normally the turntable guys that are used to obviously having a bit of torque. You literally turn this round, and now there you go, it's tightened up. This is also good for transporting the unit if you need to kind of put it in your bag. It's nice to kind of keep these nice and tight so they're not spinning. Just obvious sync button if you wanted to use that, not necessarily for everyone. Range control on the, I flick that back on so you can see what's going on. The range control, so at the moment it's on plus or minus 8, so just similar to a Technics turntable or any other turntable, but you can change that range plus or minus 16 or 50. And it means you've got more pitch control on the unit. You can also control the SP6 sampler, either in Scratch Live or Itch, and you do that by pressing the shift and the cue. At the moment there's no samples in this, but you flick through your banks with these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have the 6 pads to trigger the samples that you've already loaded, or you're loading on the fly. If you're in the dedicated mixer mode and you have maybe Scratch Live or turntables plugged in, this also turns into a high pass filter, and you can still play the SP6 sampler if you have Itch open. So you could be playing an external CD or a vinyl, have filter control over it, which has nothing to do with the software, it's hardware based, and still kind of trigger any samples that you may want to throw over the top. The unit is available in the UK. It's selling out pretty quick, so get down to Decks or see them online. If you're available, come down and have a go of the unit. It's here on show, as you can see, with all our other controllers, and the guys here will show you the ins and outs of it for yourself. Thank you very much.